Welcome to our video on carbon budget. How much can we afford to emit? Understanding the concept of a carbon budget is crucial as it helps us quantify the amount of carbon dioxide we can safely emit while still aiming to limit global warming. With the ambitious targets set by the Paris Agreement, the clock is ticking on our remaining carbon budget, and we must address the accelerating rate of emissions. Join us as we explore the implications of past emissions, the role of carbon sinks, and the shared responsibility that lies on a global scale, all while highlighting the urgent actions needed to secure a sustainable future. 1. Definition. Understanding the carbon budget. The term carbon budget might sound technical, but it's crucial for our planet's future. Essentially, it refers to the maximum amount of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, CO, that can be released into the atmosphere without causing dangerous levels of global warming. Scientists have identified certain temperature thresholds, like 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, to avoid the worst impacts of climate change. These thresholds guide the calculations of the carbon budget. If we exceed this budget, we risk crossing into a zone where climate change effects become irreversible. It's like having a bank account spend too much, and you're in trouble. Our carbon budget is much the same. We have to manage it wisely to avoid overdrawing our planet's environmental resources. 2. Global warming targets. The Paris Agreement's ambitious goals. The Paris Agreement, a landmark accord adopted in 2015, set an ambitious target of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. This target is crucial because even small increases in global temperatures can lead to significant environmental changes. To meet this goal, nations around the world must drastically reduce their carbon emissions. It's a tall order, but necessary to mitigate the impacts of climate change. The agreement represents a unified global effort to address climate change, emphasizing the need for immediate and sustained action. By setting these targets, the Paris Agreement provides a clear roadmap for countries to follow, urging them to cut emissions and transition to cleaner energy sources. 3. Remaining carbon budget. The clock is ticking. As of 2024, scientists estimate that we can still emit between 300 to 400 gigatons (GT) of carbon dioxide if we want a 50% chance of keeping global warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius. This remaining carbon budget is shrinking every year as emissions continue. Imagine trying to save money for a trip, but every month you spend a little more than planned. That's what's happening with our carbon budget. It's getting smaller, making it even more challenging to stay on track. The urgency is real, and every year of inaction makes it harder to achieve our climate goals. It's a race against time, and the stakes are incredibly high. 4. Carbon emissions rate. A rapid depletion of our budget. Globally, carbon dioxide emissions from fossil fuels have hovered around 40-50 gigatons per year in recent years. At this rate, the remaining carbon budget could be exhausted within just a few decades. It's like filling a bathtub with water while the drain is open. If the water keeps flowing, it will soon overflow. Similarly, if emissions continue unabated, we will quickly deplete our carbon budget, leaving little room for error. This rapid depletion underscores the need for immediate action to curb emissions and transition to sustainable energy sources. The clock is ticking, and the time for change is now. 5. Past emissions impact. A legacy of industrialization. Since the Industrial Revolution, humans have emitted more than 2,500 GT of CO, significantly contributing to the warming of our planet. This vast amount of emissions is largely due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. The legacy of industrialization has left us with a warming planet, and the consequences are already being felt worldwide. Rising sea levels, more frequent extreme weather events, and changes in ecosystems are just a few examples. Understanding the impact of past emissions is crucial for shaping our future actions and ensuring we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. 6. Role of carbon sinks. Nature's balancing act. Nature has its way of balancing carbon dioxide emissions through carbon sinks like forests, oceans, and soils. These natural systems absorb some of the carbon dioxide emissions, helping to mitigate global warming. However, they are becoming less effective due to deforestation, ocean acidification, and other environmental changes. It's like having a sponge to soak up a spill, but if the sponge gets saturated, it can't absorb any more liquid. Similarly, as carbon sinks become less efficient, they can't absorb as much CO, exacerbating the problem. Protecting and enhancing these natural systems is vital for maintaining the balance. 7. Global equity. Shared responsibility and support. The concept of a carbon budget raises important questions about global equity. Developed countries, which have historically contributed more to emissions, are expected to take the lead in reducing emissions. Meanwhile, developing nations require financial and technological support to pursue low-carbon development paths. It's a matter of fairness, akin to asking those who contributed most to the problem to do more to solve it. Global cooperation and support are essential to ensure that all countries can meet their climate commitments and work towards a sustainable future. 8. Pathways to stay within the budget. Strategies for success. To stay within the carbon budget, countries must achieve net zero emissions by mid-century. Investing in technologies like carbon capture and storage, CCS, and afforestation are considered essential steps. Imagine a tightrope walker carefully balancing their steps to reach the other side safely. Similarly, staying within the carbon budget requires a careful balancing act of emission reductions and technological innovations. These strategies offer hope, but they require commitment and coordination on a global scale to be effective. 9. The tipping point. Risks of exceeding the budget. Exceeding the carbon budget risks triggering irreversible impacts on our planet. These include loss of biodiversity, more frequent extreme weather events, and large-scale disruptions to ecosystems and human societies. It's like playing with fire. Once you cross a certain point, there's no going back. The consequences of exceeding the carbon budget are severe, emphasizing the need for urgent action to prevent these outcomes. The stakes are high, and the time to act is now to avoid reaching this dangerous tipping point. 10. Urgency of action. A call to reduce emissions. To remain within the safe carbon budget, emissions must be reduced rapidly. The United Nations has called for global emissions to fall by about 7.6% per year starting in 2020. This is a significant challenge, but it's necessary to prevent exceeding critical thresholds. It's like trying to lose weight. You need to make consistent, sustained efforts to see results. Similarly, reducing emissions requires a concerted global effort, with countries working together to implement effective policies and practices. The urgency of action cannot be overstated, and the time to act is now.